Alright guys, taking a little break from studying to do the power rankings video for this league. Last week before the playoffs, and shockingly, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams still mathematically alive for the last spot. They're not really all alive, but in theory they could all make it. Any of them could get the last spot if a crazy amount of shit happened. But let's go through the power rankings real quick, and then I'll go through and I'll break down everyone's playoff chances for you. We got Lutz at 12, Phil at 11, Tom at 10, Berg at 9, Josh at 8, Eric following 3 losses in a row, any one of those wins would have gotten him in the playoffs, but him at 7, Chase at 6, rising right now, Dom at 5, D Benny at 4, Herc at 3, Bryce at 2, and of course I am number 1. So let's just go through the playoffs. I have the number 1 seed locked up. That's over. I get the 4th wild card. Bryce and Perkins are locked in. Perkins, that's the West, I think, champion, West or East, whatever the shitty division is. He's the shitty division champion, and he'll play Bryce in the first round. That'll be an interesting game. I feel like they've been slotted to play each other for a while now, so that's pretty much happening as it happened. They're both locked up playoff spots. So here's how it goes. The tiebreaker is total points. Total points 4 is the tiebreaker with more than 1 tie. It seems pretty likely there's going to be more than 1 tie, so it's going to come down to total points. We'll start off with Dave Bennett. If Dave Bennett wins, he has a 50-point lead on everybody. The closest is Eric. Well, Eric's down 47 points. So if he wins, Eric would have to win and score more than 47 points more than Dave Bennett to get in the playoffs over him. So Dave Bennett has pretty much a win-and-end game. Well, that's the good news for him. The bad news for him is he has to play me. I have not lost in a while. So if Dave wants to get into the playoffs and play me, you'll have to first beat me. You'll have to beat me, and then you'd have to beat me again. So that's for Dave. Dave's got that 1,108 points, and Dave's got me. But I think, unquestionably, there's not really a debate right now. Dave is the best out of all these other teams. I mean, not counting myself. Well, I think he's actually better than Bryce and Perkins, honestly, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's better than Bryce. I think he's definitely better than Perkins. I think he might be better than Bryce. You guys know Perkins has been outscored this year? How the fuck is he winning that division? How's he 8-4? He's been outscored. He's got 1,046 points for and 1,053 points against. How the fuck are you over 500, Perkins? You got a guy with, you got Dave, who's at 500, but he's scored 100 more points than he's given up. You got Eric's almost 100 over. Let's find some really just weird looking ones. Dom's only like 10 points over. Like, what the shit? Oh, the division's so bad. But Dave Bennett's got the easiest track in. At 5 we have the next. We'll go to Eric. Eric's got the next most points at 1,061. But here's where Eric's situation is weird. Eric has the easiest game out of all of them because Eric has Phil, and Phil's terrible. Like, I mean, look at. I wanted to make fun of Phil for a while. Let's look at Phil's game from last week. I don't remember what it was, but I remember there was something that I just looked at and I was just like, it's embarrassing. How do you even do this for anything? What was it? What'd you do? Oh yeah, you played the Jets D over the Patriots D. How fucking stupid are you? Are you kidding me? The Jets are terrible. Patriots will wash them every time, and that's why you lost. Or else Bryce would Bryce be fighting for his life? No, it wouldn't have changed anything. I guess it's not really that important though. Whatever though. That's a dumb move. So Eric's team had a playoff spot all but locked up, but he's lost 3 in a row and pretty much is just like nosediving out of the playoffs in a pretty epic collapse. Dallas Cowboys-esque collapse for Eric. He lost 3 in a row. He's got awful running backs. Even if McFadden comes back, his running back situation is still terrible. But you would think Aaron Rodgers, Vincent Jackson, Wes Welker, and Denarius Moore was enough to get to the playoffs, but we'll see. He's mismanaged his team a few times. Just overall, just everything that was going right before is going wrong now. But he's got Phil, so if he scores a representative amount of points and beats Phil, and I beat Dave, then Eric will probably get in. Next up we have Dom. Dom has the next amount of points of the 4, 6, and 6 teams. Dom's got 1049. I really think Dom is the worst out of all these teams. I mean, he's got more points. Well, I don't know. Chase's team's pretty shitty. But Dom, you were in like Dave Bennett's shoes, and Dave Bennett was in your shoes, and then you gave him your running back. You gave him Marion Foster. There's a saying: you don't trade your best player in fantasy football. You just don't do it. You should not trade your best player. And now look at you. You're starting fucking. Look at you. You're starting Bryce. I don't care if he had 20 points. You're starting Bryce Brown. You got mauled by Berg last week. Berg was probably laughing his ass off just thinking about how bad you got raped. You're starting Cecil Shorts and Zanari. You're starting Ryan Fitzpatrick, bro. Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Mendenhall. What are you... Like, I know you're missing Murray and missing LaShawn McCoy, but oh well. Sometimes in life you gotta nut up and not be stupid. You shouldn't have given away Arian Foster. Plain and simple. You gave away Arian Foster. How many points Arian Foster had last week? More than all of your running backs combined. So, but you're only 12 points behind Eric. So if Dave loses, Eric wins, and you win, and you outscore him by more than 12, then you get into you get that last spot. And the last team with a chance, though, he would need the other three to lose and be miserable, would be Chase. Chase only has 1,004 points, but he's at 6-6, so technically he's alive. So we'll bring it up. He's got RG3 and he's got Roddy White, and that's really it. I mean, Ryan Matthews is atrocious. Andre Brown's on IR. I guess that's the hint in case you didn't know that. But Andre Brown broke his leg. He's on IR. Well, you got Nelson and Witten, but you're not a playoff team. You can look at a team and say that's a playoff team. That's a dangerous team. Your team's not dangerous. You would need RG3 to put up 50 to beat anyone else in the playoffs. But we'll see. I think I'll get to my predictions after I'm done with this. I'll go through all these and then I'll do the predictions. So, actually, I guess that is all of them. Because, I mean, Josh and Berg and Tom and Phil could technically, like, if they one of them put up, like, 200 points and everyone else put up, like, 30 points, they could, like, tie and then win the tiebreaker, but it's unlikely. Though I'd like to say give a good job to Josh Knockin's team. Josh's team looked pretty pathetic, and he's as hot as anyone that's not me or Dave, so give a little congratulations to Josh. Josh's team's turned it around for being someone who... I mean, Josh's team is good. Josh has more points than Chase and Dom, and he only has one less point than Eric. Of course, when you look at that, T. Dirks. If T. Dirks did not attach his team to Phillip Rivers, I'd say he was a playoff team. But that's what happens when you attach your team to Phillip Rivers. And Gronk got hurt, which obviously killed him because Gronk was his best player. But with BGE and Alfred Morris, Torrey Smith, Randall Cobb, Larry Fitz, that's not a bad team. It's a really good team, but obviously it is what it is. I think I'm not going to comment on Dave's game. I guess since he would win, he's in. Let's say he lost just to make the scenario work. So then you got the other three. I think Eric will beat Phil. I don't think Eric will put up a ton of points. So if Dom puts up enough points to beat Bryce, I think Dom gets in. But I also think Chase loses to Berg, just as a side note. I think Berg finishes hot, plays with some pride, gets in there at 6-7. Avoids going first to worst. Well, Lutz is obviously hopelessly worse, but I think that's what happens. I might as well just pick all the games just to make this easier. I'll just pick them all. Don't go in the extra mile for you. Perkins beats T. Dirks. Josh beats Lutz. Berg beats Chase. I think, you know what? I think Dom gets the dump. I think Dom beats Bryce. And Eric beats Phil. Oh, what is this? Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Well, according to this, Phil's going to have a huge... According to ESPN, Phil's going to win. But I've seen Phil's team, so I don't think it's going to happen. So that's the power rankings for the week. Good luck to everyone going into the playoffs. If you didn't go, well, it's probably your fault, honestly. There's more you could have done. Just search your brain, you'll find it. Hope you guys all have a good week. Probably sure you're miserably studying for finals like I am, unless you're, I don't know, somebody's not in school. So, have a good week, and I'll come back on next Tuesday with a special playoff preview. I guess it'll be a short one because I won't pick my own game, but whatever. We'll go position by position. Throw a little something extra in there for you, maybe a final power rankings. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later.